I first met Jim at Stanford University, where we were both living in an ecology-themed co-op. And we were proud early adopters of composting, recycling, and organic cooking. Jim was a natural leader in the co-op on account of his finely etched views of the world and of politics and very much of food. Even then, Jim's knowledge of music was broad and impressive and was a large part of his identity. If you were lucky enough to be on a cooking crew with him, staying up till the wee hours baking umpteen loaves of bread and vats of granola, which we did every night, Jim would dazzle you with musical talk. Jim grew up loving jazz, blues, and classical music and knew much, much more about it than I did. I'd grown up with a serious interest in music and the piano, but I was practicing all the time, so I could only envy Jim's tastes and breadth of knowledge. We were unlikely friends. Jim was already a sophisticated connoisseur of music and food, and I was an accomplished pianist, but with a narrow musical scope, and an imaginative, if not always crowd-pleasing chef. To this day, Jim teases me about my yogurt and canned yam salad, and largely dismisses my culinary inventiveness. Nonetheless, he did share my joy of music, so we could still be friends. The music we played in our respective dorm rooms was, in my case, Pink Floyd, Bach, Well-Tempered Clavier, and the Brahms symphonies. And emanating out of Jim's room would be Oscar Peterson, Renaissance recorder music, and often Smetana Ma Vlast in the Walter Susskind St. Louis Symphony recording on LP. Jim had spoken back then of playing the clarinet as a kid, but I was never aware of his having an instrument at the time in school. But meanwhile, his interest in all forms of music was intensifying in college. He found obscure recordings, memorized album covers, and became the co-op's symphony czar, in charge of student tickets to the San Francisco Symphony. Be absolutely sure, by the way, to ask him tonight to demonstrate some of the Renaissance dance moves that he learned in an elective class on the subject. Tonight. Throughout his years in public policy school, in law school, and to the present day, Jim nurtured his love of music and of food. A meal at Jim and Tom's place is a painstakingly curated experience. I also knew that Jim was pursuing clarinet more recently, and that, however, he's never offered to play for or with me. I know that he has been exhilarated to be working with the people at the community music school, and so it's no surprise that he is supporting the school with such generosity and enthusiasm. Congratulations, Jim, and to all of you who are honoring him tonight. Let's jam sometime.